सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति। Verse number 18.
ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्थाः मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्थाः अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः। ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्थाः मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्थाः अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः।
Those established in sattva move upwards. The rajasika remain in the middle. The tamasika, following the course of lowest guna quality, go downwards. He's wrapping up the whole thing now. The effects of the guna is what the topic. Consequence, what happens? So first he said after death what happens, in life what happens. Now he is saying the whole thing together, concluding the topic. Sattvic people get up, upper birth. Rajasic people get, middle birth. So if you any time get, upper birth in a train, don't get upset. Say that Sattvic people. Urdhvam gachanti sattvastha madhye tishtanti rajasa adho gachanti tamasa adho gati, he says. You're finished. Adho gati. Adho gati means go downwards. Hit the rock bottom and go even below that. That's called adhogati. Adhogati is not bottom. You hit the bottom, from there you go down. See? Like the sea level, they say. One higher sea level, and then you hit the bottom, bedrock. You go further down, he says. Tamas. The Sattvic people move upwards. See, this movement is not to be taken spatially. Right? Don't take it literally. It's just a figurative speech. It's not that those people move upwards and downwards. It's not that. What is referred here to is in the spiritual scale. One person will go up, another person remain in the middle, another person keeps going down. So it's not to be taken literally as, the person who is Sattvic means he will go upwards. So as you keep buying, flats higher, you are a Sattvic person. Don't. The movement here is referred as this, the spiritual stance. Spiritually, are you going up, evolving, or you're just remaining in the middle, or you are devolving? That's what he is explaining here. He says there are three possibilities are there for these three people. Sattvic, don't forget. Sattvic person doesn't mean he is not having any rajas in him, he is not having any tamas in him. Sattvic means predominantly sattvic. Rajasic means predominantly rajasic. And predominance here is not to be taken the simple majority. 51%. It's not that, please. In election, if you see, more the sections of people coming into picture, lesser is the margin, isn't it? Even if you have got only about 22%, if there are 5 parties, the one who has got 22% wins. Yeah. That's democracy. But we cannot argue saying, see, that rest of that 78 has voted against you. No. 78% did not want you. You got only 22. But still, who wins? Okay, so don't take it literally, because the dynamics keeps changing depending on the context. So percentage, predominance. Did you say here when we say predominance, it is complete domination. In the sense, just for Nam Ke Vaste, the fellow will have other 2 gunas. That is the meaning of predominance here. Only if you take to that case can be taken as a sample case, the best ideal case for us to understand who is a sattvic person, who is a rajasic person, who is a tamasic person. We have to take that predominance. Predominance means 80 plus. About 80% of that personality is dominated by that particular guna. You can say, sir, even if there is 50%, 25, 25, still predominance. One guna 50, other 2 is, another one is 1 guna 40, other 2 gunas 30, 30, still predominance. But there is a vast difference between this proportion and 80, 15, 5. You're all with me. When you take mathematically, predominance means that. And whenever we discuss here, we say predominance, we mean 80 plus. 80 plus should be 1 guna in you. So that doesn't mean other 2 gunas don't exist. If single guna cannot stand. So therefore, essentially, you will be having all the 3 gunas. So wherever we say those established in sattva, that they had to have this sthita. Now you are established in that position. If you are established in sattva, then you move upwards, meaning you grow spiritually. And spiritual growth means what? Here, spiritually you are growing means you are reducing something. See, when you lose, when you eliminate, when you reduce, that means you are increasing. Peculiar. When you lose your desires, to that extent you have spiritually evolved. That's the meaning here. So he says, those established in sattva move upwards. words, meaning they grow spiritual. What is the mark of those people, sir? Pineapple and the bee. Remember. What is this? Pineapple and the bee. Those whose truth and wisdom lead can gather honey from a weed. You can extract only what is there. You cannot extract what is not there. There is no honey in the wheat. Honey is there in the flower. Of course, we can't extract, bee will extract, and then we will steal from them. Yes. But even a bee cannot extract honey from wheat. Why? Logically speaking, you can extract only what is there. What is not there cannot be extracted. But he says what? William Cooper. They whom truth and wisdom lead can gather honey from a weed, he says. It's almost an impossible scenario. Why we say almost impossible here is because this fellow is extracting. So we cannot say it is absolutely impossible. He is extracting from there. How? Sattva. A sattvic person is the one who has this qualification. What is the qualification? They whom truth and wisdom lead. Satyam and Jnanam. Truth and wisdom. Satyam and Jnanam. Those who have the truth, Satyam, in their life and Jnanam, they will be able to extract the highest from the lowest. That's the meaning there. So don't take it literally. Literally means if you'll be wondering, how is it ever possible? It's blabbering. It's not. All that he is saying is the sattvic person has the capacity to extract the highest even from the lowest. He has the ability to convert the lowest possible scenario into a highest possible scenario. This is an amazing quality of a sattvic person. Any scenario you put them, they will see something there. Sattvic person. The Rajasic person remains in the middle. Remains in the middle in the sense he is steeped in the materiality and the sensuality. And he keeps going through the cycle of birth and death. Again and again he keeps coming back into the same cycle. In that sense, he is in the middle. The same thing is repeating. It's middle. Is appearing in the same position. He comes back, lives, dies, takes birth, lives, dies, takes birth, lives, dies. Again and again and again. Same scenario, no difference. What is this person, sir? His scenario, his position is, even if he comes to spiritual, that spiritual is also nothing but camouflaged materiality and sensuality. See, even the spiritual pursuit is also only for satisfying his material and the sensual requirements. Nothing else. It's a sort of a pseudo. Why? He comes to spiritual. It's not that he doesn't come to spiritual. He comes. Even if he comes, he is not able to leave that material values. Sir, whatever it is, money is needed, no? Correct. His argument is, no, it is, family means there will be some, attachment, right? Without attachment, how can you have a family? Little bit attachment. It's like saying little bit poison is okay, no? It doesn't happen that way. Why are you so fanatic now? I say, don't add even a little poison. Say, little poison is okay, no? Little sweet is okay, no? You're having sugar. Little sweet is okay. It's poisonous, man. Still, you'll say what? Why is because he still has a value for the worldly achievements. That's called material. Material, don't take it as literally money here. It's not just money, remember. It's much more than that. Money is just a very, preliminary talks. Yes, that's at the Bhajagovindam level. It's all even before Prakriyas, Prakarna Grantha. Before introductory text, you study Bhajagovindam. So it's all values. See, there we don't discuss. Now we are discussing Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, we don't say, when we say materiality and sensuality, don't take it literally only wealth and sensual things. Anything that is taken as it's a valued. And most of the time, you are giving a black market value to the worldly achievements. So first problem is you have a value for worldly achievements. And then you have to add. One more addition comes to that. What value, sir? Black market value. It's like in India we have no property value. Is there a standard we have? Property value. Whatever the seller says, that's the value, full stop. Is there a logical calculation? There's always, there are two things. One is called market value, another one is called guideline value. There are two values we have. No? Guideline value fixed. Some logic is there. Whether that is logical or not is an independent question. You see, some calculation they make, which calculation is the right calculation? One way of calculating guideline value is, in some places, they have this guideline value. This is a state one, okay? It's not central government, it is state government. In one place, the guideline value works based on the average registration. Whatever the average registration happens, last 1 month in this, locality, this is the rate it's going. So they will take total divided by the number. That becomes the guideline value of that. Another one is whichever is the highest value for which it has been registered. Chennai, they were having that. This fellow, that Cho Ramaswamy. You heard of him? Cho Ramaswamy. Genius. That fellow is a troublemaker. Anything he does is a trouble only. Because these people know that, it is highest. This fellow purchased and got the one property which he sold. He sold it at the value at which he bought it. That registration, he went for registration. He went for registration for the full amount. next week onwards, it became such a big problem for the subsequent fellows. Because now anybody buys and sells the property in that street, you know, have to pay that because that becomes the guideline value now. Oh my God, how much of criticism the fellow had. The moment they realized it, they changed the equation after that. Became such a big case actually. தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கு? கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? இல்லையா? Amazing. See, now which is correct one? You tell me. Average or highest? Some logic. See, that's why I keep saying logic need not be logical. Now, which is the correct logic now? Average is the right logic, or highest is the right logic? This is a part. Every seller of the house has this is the market rate we say, no? Right. Is there anything called market rate? My notion, that's it. That's called black market, where there is no rational behind this. Zero rational. At least in the guideline value, some rationality is there. Whether that is absolute, perfect, that is separate. At least something is there. In black market value means what? There is no rational at all actually. It is just, I pitch up something, full stop. I feel it. I think that is. So whatever I feel, whatever I think is perfect, valuable. So whatever you are valuing in the world is purely what? Your notion. Correct. Your notion that's about it. Is it factual? We don't say. The moment it becomes your personal notion, that's what we call as black market value. And what is the underline of all black market values? Are exaggeration. So, what is a Rajasic fellow? The Rajasic person remains in the middle. That means what? That means he has a value for worldly achievements. He has a black market value for worldly achievements. Not only that, he has an exaggerated black market value for worldly achievements. But it's not just an achievement that he is interested. Every achievement of his, he gives it as an exaggerated value. Any achievement of his. Another Rajasic person. So, who is a Rajasic one, sir? Why he remains in the middle? Middle means what? Don't take it as this, median, that middle, mean value they take. It's not that. It's not geographical center. What is it? He keeps moving, he keeps evolving and devolving. And then he evolves, devolves. Evolves, devolves. He takes one step up and then one step down. It's exactly like the rocking chair. Keeps moving, keeps coming back. Keeps moving, keeps coming. Keeps moving, keeps coming. Keeps moving, keeps back. Moving forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. That whole effort of going up and down is there. But essentially, where is he? The same place. That's called he keeps in the middle. See, that's the beauty. So where is his focus? Worldly achievement is his focus. Mundane. Mundane means this materiality and sensuality. That's a mundane activities. He gets a kick out of things. He gets a joy out of doing something which he believes as valuable, noble. But it should be my belief. I should believe. Like today, as we are coming, the car, that flyover is there. Another flyover we see every day, one fellow brings, the corns, I think. He brings and gives it to the pigeons. She was telling me, the fellow gives pigeons. Why can't he give it to the crows? காக்காய் கொடுக்கலாம்ல. No, he will not bother about crows. His focus is what? Pigeons. Another person comes and says, what, sir? Puppies, you should. Another fellow comes and says, what? Tiger, sir. Save the tiger. Okay, by saving tiger, what are you going to do? Not that you should not save. I'm not saying, from Ishwaran is against, saving tigers. You save tigers or you save pigeons or you crow, I don't care. The question is, you believe that you are doing something valuable, right? My question is, have you ever investigated the validity of that? Who is the final authority for that? You. What is the pramana? Who is the authority to say this is what it should be done? This is what you are supposed to do? Who decides that? I decide, sir. Means you are finished. That's called mundane. That joy, the satisfaction that you derive, that you have done something valuable, something good. See, that gives you a joy. That is called mundane activity. Don't get involved in actions. It's not that there are some activities are mundane, there are some activities are spiritual. There is no such thing. All activities are spiritual, all activities are mundane. See, the Shastra itself gives Purta Dharma. It's supposed to be done. You are supposed to do. Certain actions were given, prescribed. What are you supposed to do? If you are doing it as the injunctions given by the Shastra, then it is value. I get a satisfaction out of this. I feel that I have done something. Of course, I know that I cannot change the whole world. At least if I can be of a value addition to one person in the world. Joy. That's called Rajas. Follow. Rajas Nanda. It will have, Rajas will have the tinge of Sattva also in that. It's not that Rajas will not have a tinge. What is a tinge of Sattva there? Higher desire. Unselfish desire. You have that unselfish desire also. It is unselfish, which means what? It is higher. And always the scriptures also recommend you to do that. In fact, they don't recommend, they insist. It's not a recommendation. It is insisted. You're supposed to. It's an injunction. It is an instruction. It's a command. Known as Purta Dharma. You're supposed to do that. Every human is supposed to do that. If it is done, keeping that in view, Sattvic, move upwards. I get a satisfaction that I have done something valuable today, something contributing to someone's life. I do. Of course, it is contribution. I'm not saying it is not contribution. It is contribution. But through that act of your contribution, what is happening to you is the question. Through this transactions with the world, through the actions, you gain success or failure. In and through the process of gaining success or failure, what is happening to you as a person is the question here. We're not discussing are you successful or you are a failure. That's an independent analysis. Remember, is it right or wrong? That is independent analysis. Is it to be done or not to be done, sir? So you mean to say it should not be done? I'm not saying that, because the focus of attention is not with reference to whether you should feed the pigeons or not. Through feeding the pigeons, what happens to you as a person? If he goes back with the satisfaction, okay, for whatever reason, for 1 week he is not able to feed, what happens to that person then? He feels what? If that is the question, depends on what? I take classes, such a noble action. No classes, what will happen? No class, what happens? Based on the answer, we can define sattva, rajas. I'm not giving answer, okay? There are two answers possible, correct? One is what? Abba, no class, huh? Pressure. So, which means what? Every class is what then? It's a stress. No class, I miss my classes. Again, what? Involvement. You're all with me? If class is there, joy. If class is not there, sorrow. One set. Another set is what? If class is there, sorrow. Class is not there, joy. Next 1 week, 1 month, no class. All of you feel what? Appada. Too much, 4 Sundays we can sleep. Which means what? The class is, now class is not going to be giving you either joy or sorrow. There is neither joy in explaining something to you and make you understand, nor there is a sorrow that I try to explain and you don't understand. This is one level. Next level is what? Sir, I can grow to an extent where whether you understand or you don't understand, I don't bother. But the focus is what? Did I explain properly? There is a joy that comes in explaining something. Right? Again, what? Mundane. So when I say there is a satisfaction of doing an action, something valuable, something contributing, anywhere you get the joy of value addition, contribution, remember that is mundane. This is the meaning of mundane, according to Krishna. Don't say it is my interpretation. I am not interpreting. It's not mine. He says that. So anywhere you do that action, why we call it mundane? Because there is an arrogation towards the action. Materiality and sensuality. I'm only explaining what is this materiality and sensuality. What is the sensuality here? That arrogation of that action to oneself, and in that arrogation there is a joy experienced, enjoys that. The ego arrogates that action to itself and enjoys that. That is called sensuality. So sensuality, now don't take it as senses participating. Senses participating la elementary. You have to cross that and come higher. After you have crossed the senses sensuality, only then you can come to an understanding that it is rajasic. What is rajas? Rajas means materiality and sensuality. What is being materialistic, sir? Materialistic is not to be taken here as just someone who is running behind money, name, fame, power, position, and all that. That's very, very, local. That is introductory. Now we have come to the middle school. Upanishads, we'll go one step further. This also will look local. Now this itself will look wow for a lot. This is far subtle, sir. Upanishads, it goes one step even deeper. So we should be able to understand the distinction between the three. The materiality here is what? The self-arrogation of actions. You arrogate those actions to yourself. And that arrogation gives a sense of enjoyment. That enjoyment of these actions is called this. So what happens in his life? In his life, he does so many good actions. So many actions. We go through a lot of activities. But does so many things, goes through a lot of effort only to come back to the same point. What is the same point? My contribution, my enjoyment. My contribution, my enjoyment. My contribution, my enjoyment. So it comes back to what finally? To my contribution only. My enjoyment only. The Rajas. Remember, he is contributing. It's not that he is not contributing. They are contributing. A Rajasic person contributes. It is Tamasic person is one who never contributes. There is no contribution from Tamas. The Sattvic and Rajasic both contribute. Both do value addition. Because both are acting, both are putting effort. You see, the Sattvic person is one who is also contributing. Remember, the Sattvic person is also enthused to act. He has a tremendous enthusiasm to action. But absolutely indifferent to the result. That's a Sattvic person. There is enthusiasm to action like a Rajasic person, and indifferent like a Tamasic person. See, he is a combination. A sattvic person is a combination. He takes one portion of rajas and one portion of tamas and applies it to the respective field. A tamasic person is one who is indifferent to the action but enthused for the result. He wants the result. It's not that a tamasic person doesn't want the result. He wants the result. But there is no action. He is indifferent to action. A rajasic person is one who is enthusiasm to action comes only from the guarantee of the result. With the hope. If there is no hope of the result possibility, to that extent his enthusiasm plummets. We see these people, when they play the matches. There should be a possibility of winning. The moment you see the team lost that possibility of winning, see the body language. They say the very body language we can see clearly. And there is tremendous enthusiasm with which they will be playing when they know there is victory. It's amazing to see. A sattvic person is one who is enthused, he is inspired, he is motivated towards action. But his motivation is not coming from the possibility of the result. He is indifferent to the result. Indifferent to the result means which result? Don't say he is indifferent to the result. Don't leave it there. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadacha. Which phala? Because every action produces two types of phala. One is called external, another one is called internal. Right? External success failure, internal success failure. This is what they call as drishta and adrishta. Right? Drishta phala, external. Success, failure. Adrishta, internal, success, failure. A sattvic person is indifferent to the result. Which result? Catch. If you are indifferent to the external result, you are sattvic. But you are so concerned about the internal result. Right? If you don't care for the internal result also, you are a gunatita. That is a sthita prajna. You see? A rajasic person is one who is so concerned about the external result, he is indifferent towards the internal result. Therefore, what is his status? Remains in the middle. Remains in the same position. A tamasic person is one who is indifferent towards the very effort. At least a rajasic fellow is putting in that effort. So at least he is gaining external. Assumption is right effort, okay? You don't have to explain now. Effort means understood is right effort. And don't ask me to explain what is the right effort, sir. Whatever you consider as a right effort, take that. The right effort when he puts in, he keeps gaining. But in the process, since he is totally focused on the external success and external failure, he becomes completely oblivious to the internal status of his. Internally, what is happening to him, he doesn't care. Internal, not body. Wait, immediately people say no. In the process of, what is it? You pledge your health and earn wealth. And then spend all the wealth to regain health. Body. Okay. At least so far we have come today. It is so much of focus is on the body now, because everything needs to be explained to you only through body centric. If it is not explained through the body, we can't understand anything in life today. And Shastra people, they were, before you come into the house in those days, they will wash their feet and enter the house. You know why? All the germs and viruses needs to be cleared. So what? Okay, you are not having any germ or virus. So what? The cow dung is what they were using. For what? This one. They used to hang, this lemon and chili and all. Have you seen houses? Another fellow gives an explanation for that. Because people keep coming, in the village. So anytime they come, some fellows will come, one day stay, and they faint. When they faint, what is needed? So immediate medicine. I said, what? These fellows, I don't know what all explanations they give, You should teach, correct? You should teach things, what you are supposed to do. Should we go to temple? Yeah, go to temple. Tirupati, you go. Yeah, go. Tirupati, not that you should not go. Go to Tirupati. But who should go to Tirupati and what are you supposed to do in Tirupati? Have the darshan. What darshan? Huh? All of you have been to Tirupati? Anybody has not been to Tirupati here? You enter there. What do you see? What a big Krida. You go to a temple, what are we supposed to see? Huh? 8 feet idol. Where you will see? You look all over. When you go to a temple, your focus should go to the feet, not to anything else. You are not supposed to have the darshan. And you say, have you had the darshan? Darshan of what? Huh? Darshan of what? Has any one of you have paid attention to the feet of Balaji? You don't even see that. Sir, we get only, nanosecond. Nanosecond, we have to wait for 4.5 hours. Amazing, that place. Someone told me, there is a break darshan, it seems. 10,000 rupees if you pay, you'll get break darshan. I thought, wow, 10,000 rupees you pay, we'll go. Then the fellow says, for that break darshan, 10,000 rupees, waiting period is 1.5 months. If they pay, 25,000 also, people will be. Only difference will be instead of 1.5 months, it will be 1 month waiting period. You go there and see what? You go to a temple and see what? You do an action. The focus has to be there. External success, failure, or internal success, failure. You do business. Just because you do business doesn't mean it becomes a materialistic action. By doing business, what is happening to you as a person? By playing a sport, what is happening to you as a person? You become a successful player, a state player, or an international player, doesn't matter. Whether you are a character role artist or you are a villain, Amjad Khan. Imagine Amjad Khan hero. Amjad Khan cannot be hero. Amir Khan can never be a villain. Last climax, he has to change the whole thing and say he's a hero actually. Whole movie he'll appear as villain. He's betraying his own people. All the things. Finally, what does it? No, sir, he's a hero actually. He can never be. You be a character artist, you be a villain, or you be a hero, doesn't make any difference. In and through being a character artist, what's happening to you as a person? In and through your profession, to you, what is happening? You are a successful teacher or you are a failure teacher. External, internal. Internally, what is happening? If the focus were to be on that internal success, then you become indifferent towards the external success or failure. You will not get excited by the external success, nor you will get dejected by the external failure. Why? Because your focus is on the internal success. That is sattvic. A rajasic person is one whose focus is only on external success failure. That's what we call as steeped in materiality and sensuality. You're totally lost in that. So therefore, what's happening? He will be successful or he could be a failure also. Externally, his focus is on success failure. That doesn't mean he will be successful. That doesn't mean he will be a failure. Success will come, sometimes failure will come, success will come, failure will come. You know? Maximum failed movies given. In Tamil industry, Ajit Kumar, Ajit, maximum failure. Most of his movies were failure. But he has a tremendous fan following. He is, par, A+. Sir, how can a fellow be giving failure after failure after failure, but still he is top? His horoscope is like that, sir. Don't fellow. I'm not talking about where is the focus of that person. Is he focusing on external success failure, which he may achieve, he may not achieve? The moment your focus is on external success failure, you become rajasic. And is he absolutely oblivious to the internal success failure? No. A little bit he will focus on internal. But quickly he will shift his attention to the external. So all the time his attention is not on the external alone. Sometimes it turns internal, but he can't stay with that internal success. Internal success failure is not his priority. If his internal success also there, good, well and good. But priority is not internal success. Because externally failure, internally successful. Would you like to have that? Now he will say no. Along with external success, if I can get internal success also, well and good. But I am not interested in a scenario where externally failure but internally successful. Would you like to take that? You'll say no. I want external success first. Along with external success, if you can help me, if Vedanta could help me to have internal success also, experience that internal growth also, then I am coming to Vedanta. Right? That's all the self-help books, no? All the seminars and retreats and self-help books, motivational speeches, all those things promises what? Along with your external success, I am going to give you a formula with which you can be successful internally also. Whatever be that is. Whatever that is external success, whatever that is considered as internal success. But both I am promising to you. What is it? If you follow my formula, with this formula, what will be the case? In fact, that's how we also start our classes. Introduction to Vedanta. Uh-huh. The world can be divided into two parts. The western part and the eastern part. Western side people are active, dynamic, productive, prosperous. But in their own admission, they have lost peace. In the east, when you come, particularly near the villages you go, people are very peaceful, so happy, but there is no productivity, prosperity. Now, is there a possibility where you can have peace and prosperity together? Come to Vedanta. And a seminar talk. You actually come here, you'll say what? Forget about external, focus on internal. Then we will say what? Sir, if I focus on internal success, will it automatically produce external success? Adha Rajas. Sir, I'm willing to forego external success failure and I will focus only on internal success. Once I become internally successful, automatically that will result in external success. No. The law of life is this. Remember, if you are successful external, take it for granted you are a failure internal. If you are successful internal, it is impossible for you to be successful external. It's impossible. Only one you will have. Either you will have internal success or you will have external success. According to Buddha's father, Buddha is a colossal failure. In fact, Buddha's father meets him. By mistake, this fellow entered that city. He was just moving from one place. And by mistake, he entered one city begging. And someone went and reported to the father. The father came to see Buddha. I said, you are a disgrace to our clan, to our family. But don't worry, as a father, even now I am willing to forgive you. Drop all these things, go, get changed, and come and take over. The beauty of it. He says, I am willing to forgive you. Even now, I'm willing to forgive you. Amazing one. What do you mean even now? The law of life is this: the spiritual wisdom will always appear as worldly unintelligent. A spiritually wise person will not appear worldly intelligent. He will appear so stupid in the eyes of worldly wisdom people. So worldly wise and spiritually wise are mutually exclusive. You can never have both. Either you are this or you are that. Both are possible only if you have transcended. Remember, we are discussing Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. We are not discussing Sthita Prajna. Okay. So the topic of discussion is only with reference to people who are within the realm of the three gunas. So as long as you are in the three gunas structure, if you want internal success, you have to pledge external success. If you want external success, you have to pledge internal success. There's no other way. A Rajasic person is one, like, who wants external success. Along with that, if you can offer internal success, he is willing to take. That's Rajasic fellow. See, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gives a beautiful example of a Rajasic person. Who is a Sattvic fellow is a Rajasic fellow. He says, a Rajasic fellow is like a fly. A Sattvic one is like a bee. He will reach only to honey. Bee will go to only honey. The fly will go and sit on both. The dirt also it will, and this also it will do. It will do both. It has no issues. It is as comfortable as with the dirt and honey. But the bee is not like that. You should be like a bee. The bee is what? That Sattvic fellow. The Tamasic person is another beautiful. All that ulta you put. In the evolutionary cycle, the Tamasic person keeps going downwards. The Tamas keeps coming down. Okay, you can, very simple way of understanding is they go to the lower lokas. Atala, Sutala, Talatala, Patala, and all that. All the lokas they go to. Lower lokas, they live. Asurya, Namati, Anta Loka. Says no. The lokas where there is no sunlight. They go to such lokas. That is the Tamasic person. He goes down. The cycle, he keeps falling. Why he keeps falling? Because of his following the course of the lowest guna. What is the lowest guna? Tamas. Tamas means ignorance. Following ignorance. Following ignorance means what? Following the course of the lowest. Following the course of the ignorance. Following something means what? You have subscribed to something. You are comfortable with it. That's following. I'm following something means what? You're following a routine means what? You follow a particular routine, right? Morning you wake up, you do this, you do this, you do that. Wherever you are, whatever you do, you will go through that particular routine. Means what? That means you are comfortable in that position. So what is tamas here? Following the course of the lowest. Tamas means what? Ignorance. You are comfortable in ignorance. That's the meaning. So following, don't take it as, what is following? He is just comfortable. He is so happy staying in ignorance. He is blissful with it. And what is ignorance? Should get it by now. What is ignorance? What is ignorance? Ah, notes about it. At least that's okay. Copy. At least you should know from where to copy, no? What is ignorance? Ignorance means you don't know that you are ignorant. You don't know that you don't know. That's ignorance. And you are comfortable staying in that position. You don't know. And you are comfortable with that. Then what will happen there? Now, this is the position. Following the course means what? I'll come back. Wait. Ignorance means what? You don't know that you don't know. Following ignorance means you are comfortable to be in that state of ignorance. I am so happy there, sir. Now, what is he going to do? Then, what will be his actual state? He's comfortable in the state means when he doesn't know, and when he doesn't know that he doesn't know, he will believe he'll know. This is the most dangerous part of ignorance. If you don't know that you don't know, it's not the danger. That is not what he says here. Follow carefully. Those established in sattva move upwards. The rajasic remain in the middle. Tamasic go downwards. It's what he is supposed to say, no? Correct? But what is he saying? See carefully there. For tamasic, he gives an explanation. The tamasika, following the course of the lowest guna. What is the lowest guna? Tamas. So tamasic people following tamas go downwards. Sattvic people will follow what? Sattva. Go upwards. Rajasic fellow, there he is not saying those two. You're all with me. He's only referring to the tamasic person alone. He gives a special extra emphasis. The extra emphasis he gives is what? He is following. To follow something, ignorance will not make you follow something. Only knowledge will make you follow something. Correct? In ignorance, can you follow? Not possible. Only knowledge will make you follow. But the problem is what? The knowledge that he is carrying is not a knowledge. What he is carrying is ignorance. But he is taking that ignorance to be knowledge. What will happen to him? Pranashati only. And that's what he says, go downwards. They destroy themselves actually. Comfortable with ignorance. Following means comfortable. Following also has a pun there. What is a pun? You can follow something only when you have knowledge. So here, he believes he knows when actually he doesn't know. That is called ignorance. So ignorance is not just stating not knowing that he doesn't know, which means implication is what? When I do not know that I do not know, I will believe I know. But what I know is not true. What I know is false. It's ignorance. It is wrong knowledge. It is wrong understanding. But that perverted understanding, the wrong understanding is taken as the right one, and on that I develop a conviction and I follow my conviction. Correct? But what he is following is this. So where he will do? Tamas. So you have to understand this sattva, rajas, tamas from every angle. You see, like action. In action, where is a focus? I told you already. Action, the focus is there is enthusiasm to act, indifferent towards the result. Which result? All that. A Rajasic person is one who is having tremendous enthusiasm to action only to external success guaranteed. Internal success, if it is there, well and good. If it is not there, that's okay. Tirupati, you go, priority is Laddu. Incidentally, I get a chance to see Balaji, good. That is. What is Tamasic fellow's attitude towards action? Sattva we have seen. Rajas we have seen. Tamasic fellow will do what action? Will he be sleeping all the time? Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krita. No one can remain in inaction even for a kshana, he says. Kshana means, a split second. You cannot remain without action even for a split second. Krishna has already established it. So a tamasic person is not going to be in a state of inaction. Even though we define it as inactive state, is it practically possible? Practically, can you remain? What are you doing? Nothing. How can you do nothing? Huh? Doing something, no? What are you doing? Watching TV, seeing this, daydreaming, something you have to do. It is impossible for you to say that I am doing nothing. You can say, I am not doing anything productive. I am not doing anything sensible. I am not doing anything evolutionary. That is different. But there is no possibility of you saying, I am not doing anything. But tamas is what then? So a tamasic person is not the one who will not do anything. Remember, he will also do. Right? But his focus will be there. Sattvic person also acting. Focus different. Rajasic person also acting. Focus different. Tamasic person also will act, but with a different focus. That's how you will know. Are you sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic? That's the advantage of the study. Otherwise, why you have to study about, sattva, rajas, tamas? Sattvic fellow go upwards, rajasic fellow go downwards, and samasic fellow go downwards. Next verse. Problem solved. In fact, the verse will look more easy to understand than what we explain. Now, Krishna, when he comes also, he'll be doubting. I didn't mean all these things. Yeah, of course. Yes, there are about, 2,000 plus, commentaries are there for Bhagavad Gita. Imagine Krishna comes back, you put the 2,000 commentaries in front of him and say, tell me which commentary is correct. He will disown Bhagavad Gita to himself. I never said anything like this. Impossible. See, remember, these things are just a trigger points for us to think. It's only for us to reflect, to think. The tamasic person is one, don't believe, tamasic person will not do. He will do action. But the focus is where? That's catch. Tamasic person will do action, but his focus is on how quickly I can finish that action and rest. Tamas. All with me? How fast I can do that action, quickly I can finish that action so that I can remain inactive. All the scientific development that we are having, motivation is what? Tamas. Tamas is the motivation. Cooking. How long it used to take to do cooking? How long it used to take for a person to take bath? You have to walk to the river, take bath, come back. Or you have to dig a well and then put the thing inside, and pulley has to be there, pull it out and then pour, and 70% of the water will fall all over the place, not on your body. So what do you have to do? Again take next one, again take next one. Now all that you have to do is what? Not required, sir. You go there and tap. It will come. It will give something else. You think technology. Technology is what is it doing? So that you can do that action with least effort. And what are you going to do? Enjoy. So tamas is what? Tamas means I try to finish that action as quickly as possible. The completion is important. Like people ask, sir, chapter 14, you're still doing 14 chapter? 27 verses only. I said, I'm still in the 18th verse. Hey, finish, no. A lot of my colleagues, they ask me, they finish entire Bhagavad Gita. 3 years later, they finish. 50 classes a year, 150 classes, no, over. I say, one chapter takes me one class. One verse, one class, one verse. So which means 700 verses now. Either some verses now will go 2-3 classes also. And in between I'll forget. One fellow will ask, sir, you didn't do that verse. I'll do again. That's why nowadays I'm making a note all that. People started cheating me. I said, no. Quickly finish, no? Okay, quickly you finish this text and do what? And then finish that darshan quickly. And they do the rituals, do quickly. Why should you do that quickly? Today's Gayatri Japa, no? Supposed to do 1008 times. Gayatri Japa. You can do. Quickly finish, no? And do what? So you want to speed up the process of action to complete it at the earliest. So that you don't have to do this, you see. Which means what? Your focus is to stop the action. Your focus is not in engaged in action. The focus is to complete. So once you have completed, that means what? You can go back to inertia. So how quickly you can get back to that state of inaction? So I can't remain inactive, because that's what Krishna had said already, established the law of life. That is, you cannot remain inactive. So what do you have to do? I have to act, but I will act in such a pace that finish it and then sit. And what are you going to do? The swiftness with which you want to complete that action, the effortlessness you want to complete that action so that you can remain inactive. Tamas. How he will grow in life? It's impossible. Now you understand. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Anytime you want to understand Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, bring it to the dimension of action. Right? If it is possible, go to another dimension, which is thinking. Right? These two dimensions will expose you very easily. Focus on the action. Where is your focus? Sattva this, Rajas this, Tamas this. You will know. Similarly, thinking. Thinking dimension also you can say what is Sattva, what is Rajas, what is Tamas. We'll see that later. It's coming. That's why I'm not touching that part at all. Actually, I'm avoiding that portion. Right. So don't ask me. So last class you said about Sattva, Rajas, Tamas in thinking. How do we wait? 17th chapter. You can say you can come back 2029. Wait. Sattvic people move upwards, Rajas remain in the middle, Tamas go downwards. Right? See you next class.